the question to ask or the statement to make always comes to you instantaneously, and you brush it off. And then almost as good a question or comment comes to you, and you brush that one off. And then almost as good a question comes to you, but not quite as good, and you brush that one off. And then you get to something that seems like it will protect you, and that's either silence or speaking. So there's no aspect of this that getting to know yourself won't work. With most people, all you have to do is say, what don't I want to say? One of the reasons we're put here is to hurt others. How I know that is that we keep doing it. Any question about it?
No question.
Especially if you're in a relationship with somebody. Are you going to hurt them?
Yes.
Absolutely. You're going to know just how to hurt them?
Yes.
What effect does trying not to have?
You heard him.
It just means you resist it and you hurt them. Would you rather resist it and hurt them or just hurt them?
Just her.
What is there about you that you don't want to find out? Is this question aimed at finding out something about you that you didn't want to find out before you spoke? If not, don't ask or don't say. The basic rule is if you want to speak, don't. And if you don't want to speak, do. And that's just based on that most of us are hiding most. You can ask the wrong question as long as it's leading to the right question. You can make the wrong statement as long as it's leading to the right statement. And the leading is no, isn't that funny that in law leading the witness is against the rules? It's an objection. Remember, are you good? Here's another one. Are you honest? When you notice, almost always when you're saying something like this, you will discover something deeper that you wish to say. The question is, do you then say it? Are you willing to interrupt yourself when you're bluffing? Or do you stay with the bluff? Well, you never know, the bluff might work this time. It's never actually worked before, but this time it might. What's in the way of you getting deeper, my dear? Any of you use people to get in your way of getting deeper? Like you attribute some attribute to another? That would be one way to do it. What's in your way? You need to know what's in your way, because then you need to discover if what you're saying or going to say is arguing for what's in your way. Are you making a case for the moment, or are you making a case for something else? See, it's really useful to know what you're making a case for, because otherwise you might end up with a violin case for a pair of binoculars. You need to know what you're making the case for. If it's a question, how interested...
Is that a diss to us? Because we're sitting here like love, Lomi-san la.
Yes.
I'm just having fun.
No.
I didn't answer the question.
How interested are you in the answer? Because how interested you are in the answer, if your life hangs on the answer, anything that enhances your attention, you're risking going deeper. Anything that doesn't, you're not. How many of you have asked a question that you're not interested in the answer? And you're just wasting your time. It's like whacking off to have a baby. It's not exactly like that, but it's similar. So she just tried to look for the right thing. That will never get you there. It will absolutely never get you there because the criteria for what's the right thing changes faster than the question itself.
Yes.
You have to find something that changes just slightly slower than the question itself, and then ask it and use the question or comment as a way to get to the other side of it to something faster. It's always defense if you start with something faster and then come back, because then you're using the question or comment as a way to come back.
So start little. I kind of
Yeah.
so chunk down.
The question or comment needs to be a stepping stone to a more real world than you were in before. You're going to do it anyway. The only question is, are you going to do it well?
That's good.
Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly at first and better later. If you want to bring to this conversation the pretense that you're attempting to take care of her, you can. And you will have to stay out at a fairly superficial level. You won't be able to go any deeper.